There you go. Yeah, it's a bit odd and interesting, I gotta say, for the most part. Okay. Let's activate our sources here. Alright, that's in. That's in. Ah, okay. Interesting. Alright, let me open up this link again. Really apologize for this. Something that I gotta say is really interesting to see in action. Okay, so here I am. I'm back live once again. And let's see, let's get this chat back up. Yeah, it's funny because I'm trying out this new feature. And I gotta say, it's really interesting for the most part. And let me see, let's get this chat window open. Hey guys, make sure it's working good. Wonder how you guys felt about Gamers.com. What did you guys think of it so far? Let's see, did that come through? Is it connected? Okay, it says already on it. That's on. Let me stop. There we go. Activate source. Alright guys, we're here to talk about tech, PC builds. Hopefully you got some great PC builds going. And I gotta say, it's interesting. You know what? Let me open this up real quick. I feel like something's weird about this. What's up? Welcome in. I'm just starting. Phew, it's a lot of chaos, I gotta say, going on here. There we go. Oh, hopefully that... I'm curious to see how this ends up working out. Alright, perfect. So we're here to talk about PCs and tech. Hopefully you have a PC build or you got any PC questions, feel free to ask. There is a very interesting topic I want to bring up, and that's about Sony's PlayStation 5. I just was speaking about it a little bit earlier. Also, let me see. Let's get this chat window up here, up and running correctly, because I would love for that to work correctly. Let me close out of this and start that chat window open again. So that way I can see your questions. If you want to ask some personal questions, feel free to ask on Discord, which I will certainly answer. I am taking the recommendation of not wearing a hat today. Today's kind of a no hat day, I guess, for the most part. So right now I'm just working on the chat feed so I can see you guys in action. There we go. If I didn't see you, I apologize. Just trying out this new feature to see how this works out. And I gotta say, it's interesting and very different to set up. And hopefully you guys can see the chat. Welcome in everybody. If you guys are talking, let me know. I would love to know. I'm gonna just try to say something to you guys. Hey guys. It's odd. I don't see anything through my chat feature on this side so far. Maybe over here. You know what I gotta do? I'm gonna have to open up YouTube for this. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting the feed in. Perfect. What's up? What's up, LESEOJV? I'm just getting started here. And I do got to talk to you guys. What do you guys think about the new ASUS ROG RTX 5090? They did come out with the Matrix. It does require up to 800 watts, and it does promise to use up that full utilization, so you can take full advantage of the RTX 5090 CUDA cores. Some people may not like the design. Some people may love the design, depending on who you are. Of course, it looks very different for a RTX 5090 GPU. It does have quad fans, but it's going to be more or so on the pricier side. ASUS also unveiled their tandem OLED monitors, which looks very promising. And they did just start to release their new UG, the 32 UG, I believe it is, where it is a glossy monitor from ASUS. And it's also, of course, their 4th generation. I believe they're on their OLED. For the most part, I got to hear what you guys thought of the PS5R, especially that they decided to raise the pricing today, which was quite a shock. Usually we always hear the pricing for consoles usually drop. So it's a bit unusual for a console that's been out for about 5 years, and now they're pushing it up another $50 for the original console. For the most part, from what I know, PS5 Pro hasn't pushed their price up, but I could be wrong. I haven't really looked deeply into it. So if you have any questions about PC builds, feel free to ask. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Also, if you're thinking of doing an AMD build or going Intel, which Intel will release their new processor soon. And there's some very interesting facts I got to tell you guys, especially if you have tried Battlefield 6. If you tried Battlefield 6, I got to say it was quite amazing. I got to play quite a bit on, like, it was Sunday evening. So I got the tail end of it. But at first, I was getting whooped. I was getting my ass whooped in the beginning. And then I started to get the flow of it, whole different flow compared to something like Call of Duty, but it's a really good feeling. It doesn't have that almost like that whole the closed-in combat where it can get pretty frustrating, especially when you play games like Call of Duty. Now you have a lot more choices where you have the larger battlefields, and it feels like Battlefield has truly returned to its form. Back to it. Thank you. Just getting my fresh coffee. Thanks to my oh, okay. It's not coffee. Oh, okay. That's something my wife made me. Awesome. The Matrix had been cool, but it will be too expensive. I agree. It's going to be on the very expensive end. Have you guys heard about the whole bid when it came to RTX 5090? They came out with one where it's practically made of gold. They put it on bid, and they put it out into the Middle East, and it actually went up to $12,000 USD for a RTX 5090. And this is not exactly what we want PC gaming to become, is to become more of a luxury than for everyone to enjoy. Hence why I made the whole point of creating a whole RX 9070 XT build. Originally back in February, well, no, not even that long ago. It was around more like April, May. We did this RX 9070 XT build. PC gaming can certainly be more affordable. The whole point of it is that way you don't get locked into the whole console side. You have a lot more flexibility, especially now that you're able to not just play Xbox games or just Microsoft games, but even PlayStation games you can also play on PC. So if you're coming from console, you're sick and tired, you're watching this because you saw the PS5 Pro, not the Pro, just even the base PS5 price go up and you were thinking of getting one, you feel free in the comments to let us know, because I want to know how you feel about it. And if you're thinking about switching to PC, it makes perfect sense. You don't have to pay for a membership every month, which is nice, or every year, depending on what you do. But also, if you do have any questions about any PC builds, feel free to ask. There is one coming. Oh, that's really good. Oh, it's milk tea. It's milk tea. What a surprise. And just coming back from Taiwan a couple weeks ago, hopefully you saw that stream. And that was a lot of fun when we went to Taipei to get to explore ASUS, Gigabyte, MSI. And we even got to see the Toy Story build. And we managed to find it over in Cinetrend. And they actually had pretty much the full components for it. It was like an RTX 5070. That was like Buzz Lightyear edition. They also had the motherboard, which was, I think it was like Woody practically. And you also had the other Toy Story components to it. They even had like the case magnets for Toy Story to actually stick on the case, which was pretty dope. Now, another thing that is happening too in the whole PC realm is that we do have these tandem OLEDs that is coming out, which will definitely certainly change the game. OLED's certainly my preferability or my preference when it comes to PC gaming. It's night and day. If you've ever gamed on OLED, it can make a game feel so much more different and much more alive. I remember when first turning on OLED compared to something like something like a standard IPS display, that you'll see an immediate difference. Like even turning on a game like Power World. That's all I was switching on was something like Power World, and you can immediately see how much of a color difference there is, how deep the blacks are, and it definitely gives a much better feel when you are gaming on something like OLED. Now, Intel is supposed to be coming out with the 300 series, coming out really soon in around like probably late September, October. That's usually when they do the releases. And it is rumored so far that it's going to be based on the 18A, but as we heard earlier that they were going to abandon that project and go ahead and just skip straight to the 15A. But we're unsure what their real move is. It's a bit unclear, but there are leaks out there that the 18A could be coming out very soon. If they do, that is going to really help on the Intel side. In fact, if you guys haven't heard, even SoftBank, which is from Japan, has invested up to $2 billion into Intel, which can certainly help on their investment side and their production sides when it comes to building. That's a good indication Intel might have something brewing, and if they do, we would love to see it. We need more competition in that type of space in the PC realm. Intel does need to make a comeback, especially for how long they've been out the game. It's crazy because back when they came out with Alder Lake, they seemed to be very promising. They were the ones that originally had DDR5, and they also had PCI Express 5. But especially after last year, when we all thought the Z890 was going to be something completely different, it just ended up being pretty much like a bitter disappointment. Hopefully when they do come out, say, with either the 300 series, or if they come out with a refresh, which was rumored for this year, practically for the Z890s, because they're going to change out the socket again if they do end up changing out to a, say, 300 series. But again, there's a lot of confusion, and it's not clear with Intel currently. But we will see exactly what they will promote pretty soon, because as soon as September hits, that's usually when they make a lot of their bigger announcements. AMD does have their 9600X 3D, which is going to be their lower tier 9800X 3D. But again, for those who are on a budget, that is something to certainly take a look at. So, what's up, Plano? Good to see you. I'm not sure how accurate this whole count is or anything now, because they have this new feature. Have you seen it, Alex? I gotta say, it's a bit interesting. This is my first time going on this new update, I gotta say, for the most part. But feel free to let me know, Alex, in Discord, what you think of it so far. It's I gotta say, it's definitely been a bit interesting. I don't know how well it's actually working. But I'm glad to see you here. I'm just here to talk, especially because of all the new items that have released since Gamescom. I saw that Resident Evil 9 also revealed another trailer, which is it looks very promising. I am loving Battlefield 6, and I only got to play very little of it. Unfortunately, I got to play the tail end because I was just getting back from Taiwan just about last week. Just a little over a week ago I got back. A little bit over a week ago. But as of course we have the ASUS ROG Ally X Xbox edition coming out soon, which will be coming out in October. I'm curious to see how well that holds up against the original ROG Ally. I know it's going to be very competitive with its old predecessor, which was the Xbox, not the Xbox, but it was the ROG Ally X. Only main difference I gotta say between the two is that specification wise, on the original ROG Ally X, you're going to still have the Z1 Extreme. On the ROG Ally X, the Xbox Edition version, it will feature Z2, which is going the Z2 Extreme. I'm just curious how much more of a true performance update that will be. More than likely, it's going to match the battery capacity, which is 80 watt hours, compared to the original one, which I personally have, which is about 40 watt hours. Curious to see how well that really does hold up for the most part. And for the LPDDR5, it's going to be up to 24 gigabytes. I believe it's up to 7200 megahertz. I can't remember exactly the exact number off the top of my head, but I'm thinking that's exactly what it is. But I gotta say that was really something to take advantage of, especially from a flight like a really long flight that I had from Florida all the way to Taiwan. I was able to game on the ROG Ally X, and it played excellent. I was playing Elden Ring throughout the time and really had little to no issues. I was playing, of course, offline most of the time, but I managed to really enjoy it. Unfortunately, like the devices compared to the Nintendo Switch 2, from what I'm hearing, they are supposed to be releasing Elden Ring for Nintendo Switch 2, but the pricing is still quite expensive. Even if you compare the pricing from the US for the Nintendo Switch 2 over to, say, over in Taiwan, the pricing is still pretty high. It's not region locked, which is nice, but they do have a region locked version I do know of where it's going to be cheaper, but you do have to purchase the games there. So the real MVP, welcome. Is that Streamlabs on the screen? And yeah, it might be. It actually might be. Because it's odd. It's like everything got kind of thrown off, I gotta say. My PC's been thrown off ever since I came back. It's like the commands, it forgot the commands, it forgot certain things, like the transitions when I hit the keys. So I gotta kind of reset all that back up to the way it was. So the real MVP says, I want to buy a 5070 Ti. What's the news about FSR4 leaking? And I do have to say, FSR4 it's pretty much certainly there. It's just that we just need more game support, more game developers to support more FSR4. In fact, that you have certain games that will certainly support it. A lot of games are towards the whole DLSS side because of NVIDIA. As we all know, a lot of game companies really push more on the DLSS side, so it doesn't get as much support from FSR. But you can certainly expect it to come out, and when it does, it's going to be a beast. We've seen how great AMD has performed. RX 9070 XT is such a lovely beast, especially for what it is. I certainly recommend the 9070 XT out of all the GPUs that I've tried this year, and that's going from the RX 9070 XT to the RTX 5090, the RTX 5070, and I gotta say, for the money and for the value and for performance, the 9070 XT, it hits that spot for it. The good thing is that GPUs are starting to drop down in price, especially over in Europe. It's starting to adjust, which is a great thing, especially even for the large cards such as the RTX 5090. But of course, they're not going to drop fast enough for everyone's liking, unfortunately. But hopefully the pricing will start to fare out a bit better, especially because of how expensive everything is. It's just a bit ridiculous to pay almost nearly $3,000 for, say, something like RTX 5090, where it nearly makes, it really honestly doesn't make any sense at all. I'm hoping Intel does get really competitive with their Battle Mage card. Battle Mage card was something that everyone was looking forward, and it's supposed to really change up the game. A lot of their AI GPUs have been releasing. I haven't got to finish watching that whole Gamers Nexus special. I did get to see it in my Discord feed, and I bet that has a lot of points about that. But anyway, they are releasing their more of their AI version cards, where Intel's releasing theirs, which is up to 48 gigabytes. AMD has theirs, which is the the R9700, which is also their AI version or variant, which is up to 32 gigabytes. And then NVIDIA does have theirs, but of course, it's just insanely priced for what it is. They have a 96 gigabyte version of it, where it's nearly almost like 9 or 10,000. It's just crazy. So I could use FrameTech in Battlefield 6 Beta, even though I did not have a newer AMD CPU or newer NVIDIA series. Not FrameGen, apologies. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's no problem. For the most part, I gotta say, like, when it comes to DICE, they're very good at trying to develop the game very well. For the most part, if you notice on Battlefield 6, it played well on most systems. Now, the funny thing is, when Battlefield 6 released, there was a big influx of people, whether they wanted to try to get a PC or rebuild a PC or update their PC in some way because of the whole TPM security. This is what really made me curious about it, because I didn't really get a chance to look into it to see if that there is some sort of workaround the whole TPM when it comes to Battlefield. But for the most part, there probably isn't, but it's going to kind of force people to upgrade their PCs. Not a lot of people are happy about that, and that has to do more with the whole security features, especially that what happened with Call of Duty. If you guys haven't heard, before Call of Duty World at War, they ended up getting hacked, like on this happened a little bit ago, though. This happened like around, I think, 3 months ago or so. But people who would download Call of Duty World at War, and you had the Xbox Game Pass, you were able to download it and play it, but those people ended up getting hacked. I think this is a big part of it. This is a big preventative to have some sort of security onto your device. That's why you would need TPM. And I'm assuming that this would kind of help, like, with certain anti-cheats, but again, it's not 100%. Nothing ever is. There's always going to be some sort of workaround. But Faze says, can you help me pick the best laptop out of 4 laptops I have to buy? Sure. Yes, I am glad to be back, Sanchez. I'm glad to see you. Hopefully the stream's working well. I'm just really curious on how this new feature is currently. I see that I still got some updates to do. I still got some adjustments to do on the stream, but if anybody is having some sort of issue with the stream, or you're trying to get in contact with me, feel free to contact the Discord channel. I see someone is looking for a laptop. Feel free to share the different laptops and the specifications through Discord. I know through the chat they won't really allow any pictures or anything like that. Let me switch over here so you guys can bring the chat so I don't have to turn my head all the way around. So which one should I buy? A Dell XPS 13 Plus or Samsung Galaxy Book 4 or XP S15 or so? Faze, what are you exactly trying to do first for the most part? And will you be using your laptop everywhere you go? Will you be traveling more with this laptop, or will you be actually more at home? That way I can kind of trim it down a bit and kind of get a good idea of what type of laptop you would need. Is this your primary PC as well? So the stream is running well. I'm glad to see that. It took a bit to adjust, I gotta say, for the most part. And it's funny, over on Discord, somebody said that I should not wear a hat. So today I'm not wearing a hat because it's, I guess, a no hat hat day. Usually I do my streams a bit earlier, like way earlier. I try to get it in at like between 6 to 7. But of course, as I mentioned earlier on the stream, I had to actually take Jonah. As if you guys don't know Jonah, he's the mascot for the channel. That's why I have a dog for the mascot. That's actually him up there. And I had to take him over to the vet, and it turns out it was really nothing. He's an older dog too, so because he's an older dog, we were concerned to make sure that if he was okay or not. So we took him over there. Turns out he was okay. It was just some reverse sneezing that he was having, and that he has allergies, of course, as he gets older. So we decided to give him a allergy shot to kind of help relieve him. And now he's like passed out. He's actually right behind the camera now. But anyway, so Phase Rain, so you're using it for DJ traveling. Okay, so for the most part for DJ and traveling, I would say you would want a larger laptop, a bit larger, so you can see. Yes, the smaller laptops are great to have. They're great for portability and everything. But because you are a DJ and that you are traveling, I would highly suggest more or so something as I would say the XPS 15 is a great one to go with. Samsung Galaxy Book 4 is not really a bad choice, but I would say if you want something really a great laptop, I highly recommend XPS 15. The battery is excellent on it for the most part, and it will perform just about every task that you need, especially for that. And because you are doing DJ, and I'm assuming, do you also do your own beats and everything too? Like you use Fruity Loops as it? That would be great for that. So I would highly recommend XPS 15, definitely over Samsung for a laptop choice for the most part. Now, if anybody does have any PC build questions, don't be shy. Feel free to ask. We are getting close to almost like a whole new quarter, practically the fall quarter. That actually just reminded me, speaking of Battlefield 6, for those who are looking to build a PC, get prepared. Because if you haven't bought your parts, get this, and you want Battlefield 6, by the end of this week, they are giving out Battlefield 6 codes if you get a Intel processor. So they're trying to entice people more to get Intel, and that's one of them. And here's a bonus. If you're doing Intel and you want to try to get another free game, NVIDIA is also offering a Borderlands 4 if you purchase anything that's a 5070 or higher. So if you are looking to do a PC build, those two combinations might be great for you if you're just trying to pick up a few games during your build. But if you don't really care about gaming, you care more about the pricing and performance, I highly recommend the 9070 XT. It is a great GPU to have. So I'm shopping for a new 4K monitor now that I bought for the Gigabyte 5090 AORUS Master Ice. Trying to avoid paying $1,000 to $1,300. Any suggestions, chat, or maybe I just spend the money? Now, it depends on... perfect. So it all depends on what you're trying to look out for your OLED. I'm assuming it's OLED. For that type of pricing, I'm assuming it's OLED, right? Please tell me it's OLED. But anyway, there are great monitors out there that you don't have to spend up to. If you are on a budget, you can only spend say $1,000 to $1,300. That's fine. They have great 4K monitors that are just slightly under $1,000. One I would highly recommend if you are planning to save a bit more on your budget and you're a little bit more strict on your budget. The PG32 is also a great option, which is by ASUS, which is also an OLED monitor. Or you can go, even Alienware also has one. I believe it's a 4K 32 inch as well. That's also a great option for you. Now, the difference is, if you're asking what the price difference is between, say, like something that's under 1,000, say you get the ASUS one, the PG32, great monitor, nothing wrong with the quality or picture or anything like that. But I can say, now this is where the difference is. It's not going to be a reflective coat on there. Instead, you will get a matte screen. Now, some people may like that. Some people may not like the matte screen. And it's a bit objective and personality based. Reason being is because if you sit your PC, say, close by a window, you have an open window, you have the sun like facing into the room where it can reflect off of the screen, then matte may be your best bet, because then you don't have to see the reflection of the sun. But some argue, and if you're in more of a dark room, something like this, where you don't get as much sun in there, then a glossy display is a great option as well, because it will enhance the picture. It would actually make it look a bit more reflective color-wise. So again, if you prefer a more flat display and you have a little bit more sun into your room, then I would highly, you can easily get anything that's like under 1,000. You won't have any complaints about it. And again, the picture is still great, but the glossy displays always end up being the better display because it reflects the colors a bit better. But the real MVP says, I'd like to use a 2x8, about 16 pin on a 5070 Ti. Am I taking a bad risk? Not at all. There's not really anything that you hear from this whole 5070 about using a 2x8. There's, you can go ahead and do that. Just make sure you use a quality cable. Some people don't want to use the factory cable that they give you. Of course, they use the cheaper quality components. If you choose to go ahead and use a 2x8, I would highly recommend something like, you want to get something like Cable Mods to be able to get something like that, because then you know you have more of a quality cable. Usually they back their cables, which is also great for your part too. So yes, absolutely, Sanchez. Thank you so much for reminding everyone. I want to know how everyone is doing for the most part. So it's my only option to go without having to buy a new power supply. You don't really have to. Again, just get the cable and you will be perfectly fine. It will not affect performance or anything like that. So what motherboard and CPU would you recommend to pair a RX 7600 8 gig? Already have the GPU in case, looking to build a budget PC to sell for profit. Okay, so since you're looking to build build a PC for pretty much profit, your best bet is certainly take a look. I would imagine that you could easily find some good. You could buy some like Ryzen, maybe 3000 series, or Ryzen, not even 3000 series. That's a bad idea. I would say 5000 series, because more people want to get something like Windows 11, especially for a whole Battlefield 6, or you can get something more of one that's Intel based. You want to have something at the minimum level. You want it to have at least TPM on it, but reason being, again, more people are going to be looking for PCs that have it. And if you have that on your PC and you're able to sell it for a lower price than many of your competitors, you will certainly be able to sell that PC a lot quicker, because again, there's more of a market currently now, because a lot of people that are trying to play Battlefield 6 on PC that are on motherboard where they don't have TPM, or they're on a lower version than 2, that they're going to be looking for a PC. So if you fulfill that need, more than likely you could easily profit off of your build. So what's up, I'm Real Champ. I'm glad to see you. It's the champ in the house. I hope you enjoyed all the stream so far. Every time I see that one, I am thinking of you. I'm thinking that you got to be able to see all the adventures. Hopefully you got to enjoy the whole stream, being in Taiwan and everything. And yes, Jonas here, if you're curious, he's out there. He's sniffing the stitch carpet now, which is pretty funny. And now he's back to sleep. He's pretty exhausted from his vet visit. So this is the specs that are all 16 gigabytes on the XPS 159570 i9-8950HK. Okay. Has an XPS 13. So on the 13, it's a i7-1260p Galaxy. Okay, so Galaxy Book 3, 360, i5, 13p. Okay, so these are just mostly all processors. So for the most part, again, you said the 1260. I would say go with the 15 would certainly fulfill your needs for the most part. I would say out of all those choices, certainly go to the 9570, I would say. Go to the XPX 159570, and that would certainly do wonders for you. And again, it's great, even because I can say that when it comes to XPS, you can expect the lifespan to last you actually a lot longer than most Dells do. Their XPS series is phenomenal, and it can last you for years. I mean, it could last. I actually had an XPS, in fact, XPS 13 it was, and it lasted me like, it still lasted, it still worked. I just wanted to get rid of it because I felt like it was just out of spec. I had really no use for it. So I still had it. I got rid of it, I think, last year, but I had that PC for about 8 years. So again, XPS all the way. So for the most part, for the topic, for anyone who is on Windows 11, I do have to say, and you have an SSD, I do have to forewarn everybody out there. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but it is affecting, especially for those who have a Fission SSD, because if you have a Fission SSD or a module, just check your SSD manufacturer, depending on who it is. If it is, then apparently this new update, if you have a file that is larger than 50 gigabytes, it can apparently disappear. And if you're like me, where you have a lot of large video files and you update to this new Windows, they could possibly go missing, which is going to be a topic which I will discuss over this course or this weekend, which I'm really excited about, which is recovering files for the most part. And I got to see if this company communicates with me anyway. And hopefully everything does work out right. And when they do, it's a software company that I am excited to introduce. And you can recover these type of files. But anyway, the point is, if you get Windows 11, if you want to completely avoid that whole disaster, and you do have larger files that are 50 gigabytes, first off, and you do plan to upgrade or update, at least back up all your 50 gigabyte files. Again, I highly recommend a SSD device. This isn't exactly an SSD device only. Obviously, it's like an SD, external SD reader, but you want to get like an SSD, something that would look something like this. You plug it into your PC and make sure to save anything that is larger than 50 gigabytes. Hell, I would say anything that's over 20 gigabytes, just back it up, whatever is really important to you. Make sure to save it on your SSD and then upgrade your Windows. Once you do that, that will certainly dissolve your worries for the most part, because at least it's backed up. Or overall, you can just wait for the next update and for this to subside. And again, this is happening to more of the Fission SSDs, or the ones that have and the how do I say, the flashpoint for it, not the flashpoint, but yeah, you get what I mean. I upgraded my old PC case to a Liam Lee case, Chris. It looks great, came out great. Went with black, since my Mobo and RX 9070 GPU are the same color. I bet it looks wonderful. And feel free to show your PC. I'm happy to share it onto the stream. If you have Discord, feel free to show off your PCs as well. Show off your benchmarks. Show off whichever you want about your PC. Show off your hardware that you have getting ready for your PC build. Show it, and I will certainly show it on stream live. And we can even discuss it. So, Phase Fozzie Rain says, my Microsoft Surface Pro 11 is fine on the new update. That's good to know. For most of them, it should be okay. Again, it's only very specific SSDs, but just in case, you never know, you just want to make sure to back up your larger files. You won't lose everything, but it's very possible that you can lose certain devices because of it. I mean, not devices, you can lose some important files, especially for those who do some video editing, or you have a large game file, in fact, and you're worried about your saves. That would be certain. I would, of course, go to the save folder and make sure to save it, because you don't want the whole folder to go missing. So just in case, if you guys were thinking of that, just make sure to, before the update, I just highly recommend checking your SSD, seeing which one you have, and before you actually upgrade to the new Windows, because of course you don't want to lose everything that you have. So for the upcoming builds, as I mentioned, Intel has their processors coming out soon in October. AMD has their 9600X3D there, and they also have a 9500F. I believe that is also coming out soon. For anyone who is wanting to build PCs, they can certainly get a Intel processor. And if you do, and I gotta pull up the dates, which we can certainly do together. We'll pull up the dates. I think it's this upcoming weekend. What's it? Today's the 20th, so 21st. So I think the 24th that starts, 23rd to 24th. If you purchase a processor from Intel all the way into, I think, the first week of September or second week of September, which is, I think, like September 9th or something, then you can get the Battlefield 6 free, as long as if you purchase one of their processors for your PC build, or if you're thinking of upgrading even your 265K over to a 285K, just say. But they are certainly doing it, and if you're planning to upgrade your GPU, NVIDIA's certainly promoting anything that's over at 5070, because you get Borderlands 4 with them. So, Faze says, I have a sleeper PC build. The shell is an Optiplex case, LOL. Oh, I would love to see it. In fact, that's like one of the things I really am excited to, I want to do, is like a sleeper build. That's awesome, though. I would love to see it. It's funny. How's the airflow like? I gotta know. Do you get plenty of airflow, or you customize it to get airflow? Because I've seen different ways that can be done. I was thinking of it, and if you wanted to get a little bit more extra airflow, you can even like kind of cut out a hole and pretty much put like kind of like a mesh on there, so that way you can get more airflow. But yeah, I'm curious. Let me know what your temps are like and everything. So Alender says, I have a Ryzen 5 7500F that reaches about 95 and 98. That's pretty hot on the stock cooler, and sometimes the blue screen. Would upgrade to Thermalright's Peerless Assassin 120 SE help with stability? So if you're using the stock cooler, first off, I would worry about the whole airflow. First off, yes, upgrading your fans can certainly help, but make sure you check out your airflow. If you have like some sort of vape or some sort of vapor or something, turn on your PC, really try to push it again, open up a game or something, and then try to put it through the PC case. See if you have any negative pressure. What negative pressure is if you see the vapor kind of get stuck into the, like where the motherboard is, and it doesn't really exit out well, then the airflow is not well. So you have to be able to fix the airflow first. And of course, if you upgrade the fans, it's always going to help it too. Or even if you set your fans at the right RPMs, even sometimes your exhaust fans could spin quicker than your intake fans, so you're not really getting as much pressure in. You want to make sure to get high airflow into the case, and you want to make sure it exits out as well. And you want to make sure to have like kind of almost like a 3 to 1 or 3 to 2 ratio at the minimum when it comes to fans, like 3 intake, 2 outtake, or like even 2 intake, 1 outtake, just kind of a ratio similar to that. You want more intake more than anything. So I do have to say, when it comes to airflow, it is certainly vital. And I also have to ask this too, because this is also important to know. If you're really worried about the processor heat, what is the ambient temperature in the room like? What is your average temperature like? Now, you can say it in Celsius or Fahrenheit, doesn't matter. Let me know. And I can certainly tell you what it is. So the hot air raises, so fans at the bottom and the front going in, and the fans on the top back going in. That is correct. Yes, that is perfectly right, Sanchez. So that is important. You don't ever want to mess up the airflow. That's the key. So I see someone has joined in Discord. That is awesome. Welcome, Adam Faze. I do have to say welcome to the Discord. Feel free to show that sleeper build. I would love to see it. So you want to make sure to also, when you install the fans, that it's incorrectly. Not incorrectly, but I mean, installed incorrectly. You get my drift. But anyway, you want to make sure that the fans are going the correct direction. So you want to make sure that the intake fans are at the intake point. It's possible if this was during your build, it's very possible, and it happens to some people too, that you can reverse the fan. You might goof and reverse the fan, and that could be the issue. Something simple as that. So just make sure to check the airflow first and foremost. And again, let me know your ambient temperature. So usually around 30 to 33 Celsius during the day, sometimes hotter. And this is in your room. I'm just making sure this is 30 to 33 in your room. If it is, that's pretty warm. I have 3 intakes in front and 1 exhaust fan in the back. So far, okay, so that sounds correct. And you're sure that the airflow is working correctly too. Make sure to check it. That is very important. Check the airflow out and let me know the results. Feel free to add Discord. I'm, again, willing to answer any of your questions here. I'll just open it up here, and the Discord will look something like this. And again, if you have your photos, I will share it. Feel free to go to Silicon Gallery. That's where you can put your photos if you're curious. If you're wondering how to join the Discord, just make sure you go up to the rules side and hit that green check mark, and you can see all the servers open up. So I'll wave hi to you. And again, thank you for joining the Discord channel. And okay, so yeah, I'm from the Philippines. I get it. It's funny, Alander, because actually earlier, just like about a week and a half ago, I was actually just in Taiwan. But also, when it comes to your airflow, I gotta say, make sure to check the RPMs first off, and make sure that you're getting the correct vape out of it, because that's going to be pretty important. Don't expect a large don't expect a large decrease when it comes to your temperatures, because your ambient temperature is pretty high here. When it comes to your ambient temperature, I would expect probably at its lowest point, it's probably, you're still going to be like around at least like the 70s range. Well, I mean, around like 75, 77 degrees Celsius if I were to guess. But I can kind of figure out the math a little bit later just to make sure. But I expect your temperatures to drop, but I certainly expect that there's some sort of airflow issue. And try to take off something off of your case and see if that helps with the pressure at all somewhat. So, okay, so yeah, it's good. Yes, perfect. What's that? No, not yet. Thank you. So, what's the optimal temperature during gaming, Chris? 50 to 60? Yeah. So, Usually when you game, it depends on the game too. And for the most part, it depends if the game's processor heavy. Some games are, especially if they use Unreal Engine 5, you'll see a difference in processing temperature. But when it comes to regular temperature, say it's more GPU heavy, yes, 50 to 60 is pretty normal. I gotta say, for the most part, that's what you would want to see. Now, when you see like 60, 65, you typically will see that when it comes to more or so when it comes to something, again, like Monster Hunter's Wilds, or something like something that's Unreal Engine 5 practically. You're going to see like that processor temperature go up because of how much usage it's getting out of your system. So don't be surprised if in the near future games will require more processing power. Before, all you needed really was a single core processor, and you would use maybe another core, if that. But now, because of how Unreal Engine 5 and certain developers, we can say, are becoming a bit on the lazy side and not developing as they should, you might see a bit more processors going then. You might see a bit more cores working a bit more then. So, okay, I'll check it out. So we're going to check out the co-op companion side here. What's up there? And let's see, we will go. All right, I see it, and we will switch the screen. Perfect. I'm going to switch it over now to the Discord. Oh, that's not correct. Apologize for that. Just give it a moment because, again, like I said, everything ended up getting screwed up there. So, open up the Discord. Just give me a moment, and bam, there we go. Just like magic. There it is. And that's the sleeper build right there. Oh, it's looking good. Hello, how are you? So I bought recently a i5 12400. That is beautiful. I'll get to your question, Urgent. I just got to take a look at this. That is awesome, I gotta say. Nobody would expect that out of this PC. I definitely gotta put this post up. That's pretty insane. That is a nice build, though, I gotta say. That is a wonderful build. You would never guess that. So, hello, are you? So, I recently bought a 12400F and a RTX 3060, 12 gigabytes, but some stutters once or twice a day, like it stops for 10 to 12 seconds. I don't know what's wrong with it. So, this happens. Okay, so when does it exactly happen? Does it just happen to just random PC usage? Yeah, I bet it was. That's insane. Yeah, 70. That's impressive. That's actually really impressive. 23 degrees. That's excellent. So the Discord link is, let me share it with you guys, is right here. Let me just pull it up because, again, I'm kind of, forgive my how do I say, being out of place, because I was away for a bit, so I'm kind of trying to get re-coordinated is the correct word. But I also do have a website too. It's going to be chrismizo.com if you guys want to visit it. And here it is. I will share the Discord link. It is right here. And, oh wait, I'll share it through here actually. And it'll pop up. There you go. That's the Discord link. And the website, if you want to check it out, is right here, where it has all my social links practically on there. So feel free to check that out. Looking forward to it. So yes, so it happens randomly. It's not like the usage goes to its limits. So, okay. So exactly. Okay. So whenever you're using it, whether is it through gaming or is it just through just even this, like you're just watching YouTube and it just like shuts off on you, or you're on Twitch or any type of browser, it just ends up shutting off. Not shutting off, but more or so kind of that lag. Now, it can be a couple things. Now, and you said the usage is not going to its limits either. So it randomly happens, usage is not going to its limits. Sometimes, believe it or not, it could be a power supply issue. Sometimes if the power supply is a bit older, and you start to see weird things, like if you start to notice that like certain drivers are disappearing, or you're missing devices that you know that's in the PC. Sometimes that could be the power supply. You want to download something like HW Info 64, which is a great piece of software. See if you're getting the correct voltages to your PC. And if you see something that's irregular, then more than likely that could be the case. That could be the power supply just starting to go out on you, and it's warning signs just to let you know. Are you getting blue screens at all? Out of curiosity, if you are getting some type of blue screens or some type of warnings, let me know. And also, I do want to know as well, what have you tried to do so far? Have you tried any fixes at all? Have you tried to reinstall Windows onto your PC because of this issue? It's 1:30 a.m. here. Got to get sleep. Good. Yeah. Thank you so much, Faze. Thank you so much for joining the Discord and joining in the stream. I really appreciate you. And hopefully you are already subscribed. Unfortunately, I don't know if my notifications on the stream is working as it should, but if it is, you'll see an animation. It's supposed to give you an animation. But again, I appreciate it. I know it's late out there. That's why I try to do my streams a bit earlier. I try to look out for everybody out in Europe for the most part. So again, Urgent, have you tried any fixes? Let me know. Thank you. Perfect. Hopefully, I can't wait to see you next time. Again, I do my streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Saturday morning will be the next stream coming up. So, through gaming and watching videos, yes. So, I undervolted the CPU because it used to go up to 85 degrees. So, I did it offset at 0.05. No blue screens. I did a USB error, and I did try to oh, yeah. I figured the animation isn't work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's really weird. I can't click your Discord link. It just has the code. Oh, really? I apologize for that. For anyone who can't click the Discord link, just go to my website. I'll show you guys real quick, in fact. I'll show you guys how to do it. If you can't join the Discord link, let me see. I'm going to stream the browser. I'm going to open up a browser. Let's see. And let's open up this Mizo Cafe. Just give me a moment, guys, as I have to switch the windows over to the browser. Oh, that's weird. I wonder why it shows that one. So we're going to go here. So just go to Chris Mizo. Oh, it's not typing. So just go to chrismizo.com. Oh, wait. I apologize for you vertical viewers out there. Let me switch over. Where's it at? There you go. Browser view. So right there, if you go to the browser, you'll see kind of like, let me adjust that too for you guys. Right there up on the top. Just hit that Discord link up here. Or you could even go further down on the page. And for some reason, you go down here. It's also down here onto the bottom where it says join us on Discord. And it's just going to be at www.chrismizo.com. And for anyone who is unable to click the link, I know it's a bit irritating. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's really weird at times. But so yes, thank you. It's also in the description as well. Frequency is really random. Okay, so let me answer Urgent's question first, because since he asked, but I will highlight your question just so that way I can answer back to you. Thanks, Faze, for saying it. It is also in the description box as well. That is a great mention. So Urgent. So the thing is, the PC doesn't shut down. It goes back to normal, but the PC is fairly new. I bought it pre-built a week ago, so it's kind of a bummer. I have a good indication that if you're starting to see it's, you said you undervolted it and everything, try to adjust your, what was it, underclock? I'm sorry. I believe it was underclock you did. Let me see. You did offset at 0.05. So try to adjust it. Go back to its default settings. Try to go back to normal with no type, because certain silicone chips, they don't like it. Not all processors are built the same, unfortunately. So say you were following a YouTube video that was based on that processor, your processor might react differently than theirs. So go back to its normal settings, default settings for the processor, and see if you still have the issue. More than likely, I have a good indication that's what it could be. If it's a brand new PC, it definitely shouldn't be power supply related. If it is, I hope they didn't put no BS power supply, because that does happen with a lot of pre-built systems. They throw in a BS power supply, and it really does you no good. Okay, awesome, Sanchez. Glad you got it. So for 520 as 32 gigabytes DDR4, PSU H610, the H610, that's Corsair, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. As a Pro MSI motherboard, 512. It's not a bad build. And you also work on video editing. That's a very interesting case as well. Thank you for also joining, Sanchez. I know you're a longtime viewer. I always see you in here. I recognize you. So I'm glad you finally joined the Discord channel. So for 520, it has the 32 gigabytes DDR4, 600. Okay, so that they're pretty decent specifications. Pretty much like just the bare minimum to fit everything. Now 600 is perfect for something like that. Again, your GPU, you said it was a 3060. Was it? I'm just double checking here. 3060. Yeah, it was a 3060. So, yeah, again, try to adjust the clock. I have the offset, I gotta say, because I have a feeling it has something to do with that for the most part. Is it good though for the CPU to go up 85 degrees on long term? It's perfectly fine if you're video editing. So is this during the whole decoding process or encoding process, I should say? If you are going through that process and it does that, that's perfectly normal. Your CPU is going to work hard, especially when you're video editing. Now, if you're not video editing and it's at that type of temperature, again, it's not terrible, but it's good for it to be a bit lower. Again, depending on, what was it? Just to make sure I'm not, again, ambient temperature is a big factor in this, and the air, since it's pre-built, I'm assuming they put the airflow in their correct direction. We were just speaking of this. So I'm going to answer Tarazine's question. Thank you for patiently waiting. I will answer your question now. You said, hello, I need your help. My screen randomly turns black. All fans go to 100%. I have to restart your, okay. Now that 100% sounds more like a, either there's two things going on with it. You either have some sort of, the first thing I always think of when I see something like that is automatically power supply. Second thing is it could be the video card. So what are your specifications exactly? So thank you for your help. I will reset it back to normal frequencies, and I will be back on later or days on next streams for updates. Thank you. Perfect. Would love that. And hopefully you did end up joining the Discord, and feel free to share your comments, and feel free to let us know updates. I will be happy to share with everyone on to hear or to see how you're doing for the most part. And I do have to say, for Tarazine's case, I'm really curious to see how that is going to happen here, because it sounds like it's going to be either video card related or power supply related. And if this is happening, that sounds about right. It could even be the OS at times too, because sometimes if the OS is not installed correctly, it can give you these weird issues. It could be just something that did not really install correctly into the registry even. So the RTX, so you have an RTX 5090. Oh wow, so this is brand new. The RTX 5090, 9950 X3D, Seasonic. Oh, you have an awesome PSU. I did join. Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. So, Terrazine, to answer your question, the RTX 5090, 99. Okay, so it sounds like you have quite the beast. I gotta say, wow. You built a beast. It's a monster. So my question to you is to ask kind of almost nearly the same question, or the question that you posted. With this PC, is it happening during certain uses, or is it through any use? Like whether you're on the internet, or is it strictly through gaming, or are you into video editing? Let me know when this does happen to you. More than likely, from what it sounds like, is because everything is new here. For the most part, first, again, it has to do either with power. It's going to be pretty simple. Either power related through your PSU to your video card, or it could even be the video card that needs to be like some sort of update. Even sometimes that even happens if it's not in there correctly. I have an old M.2 hooked up from the old computer OS 2. Oh, did you install the a new OS on it, or do you still have the very same OS? Because if it is, that could be the case even. I have a Ryzen 5 96. Okay. Yeah, I'll certainly answer your question. That your facts, I will post it up just to make sure I get back to you, as we're trying to figure out Terrazine's issue real quick. It's more unstable when idle. Yeah, that sounds like something's a bit off there. I'm curious about what the usages are. Have you checked hardware info to get a good indication of what it could be? Excuse me, guys, just taking a quick sip, and I will certainly help you. Just waiting on the answer. Okay, so yes, new OS. It's a 9100 Pro. So again, you went ham. You did go ham. So you have a brand new SSD. You're not on a new OS. I mean, you're on a new OS, so that's not going to be that. So from what I would think, the temps are low. How's the voltages, though, is the question. There is something that is off here. There has to be. There is something that is off. It's going to, my guess is voltages. 12-volt high-power ports. Is that connected correctly? Just to make sure. I'm sure it is, but I would say it has something to do along those lines, I feel like. Is it seated correctly, the GPU? It gets stable once the system heats up. So, yeah, from what it sounds like, there is going to be, yes, there is something that is off. There's something that is, there's something that's not, just a little bit off. I would say it has to do something with some sort of either connection or the power supply for the most part. Definitely check it out, Terry. Let us know what it could be. I'm really curious because I'm pointing, it's pointing more towards definitely power usage. It's power usage or the GPU. It's going to be either or. But double is not from NVIDIA. I'm using one from, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, because you practically had because I actually just did a build with Seasonic too just recently, and again, they have excellent cables. So I don't think it would be from Seasonic. I think, yeah, no problem. But I certainly would, It's always best when I see it in person, then I can really look at it. But take a look at the voltages for sure. Definitely check it out, because I have a good indication. If my gut feeling is telling me that there is something not really connected in right, or it can even be like even something funny, like say if the RAM's not even really connected in correctly. But more than likely, this is not the case, because you probably have 2 RAM sticks already installed. That sometimes when they're loosely connected, that can also cause your PC to crash. RAM's going to be very important on that side. But yeah, absolutely. Everyone got to congratulate Terrazine for that build. That is just quite the monster. That is a beast. So to answer that facts, I have a R5 9600X, a DDR5, a B650 Eagle AX, Radeon 9060 XT. Yeah, it's certainly a good build. Definitely a great build. How are you liking it so far, for the most part? I gotta know. Just seen on Jay-Z mentioned about how some issues with new updates. He recommended to uninstall from update profile and turned into the update for a while as it causes crash. Yes, that is, we actually just spoke upon this. It's a very specific SSDs that it will be happening to. I know my 9800X3D uses it, but it's for those who have fission in their SSDs practically. And if you do, then you can lose files that's over 50 gigabytes. So be wary if you have a fission SSD, as that can cause you to lose files that are over 50 gigabytes. So let's see. CPU is overclocked. Custom curve optimizer. Okay. And you're on the 9950. The 9950X3D actually has excellent. They're made with like the best like silicone chips, which is pretty wild. I feel like AMD actually personally saved those. But I have a good indication that I don't think it's going to be CPU related at all. Now, what you can do, if out of curiosity, if you just want to try it anyway, just slowly drop your curve. I'm assuming you're in the negatives. Like say you're negative 25 or something. Drop it down to like negative 20 to see if it makes a difference. If it does, maybe that could be the case. But you're not really experiencing hard freezing. You're just experiencing more or so things like just the lag in the beginning of when you first start your PC. So I've been trying to use the PSVR2 with the adapter, but it's been buggy. Yeah, that's one thing that I kept away from, was the whole VR2. I've heard great things about MetaQuest though, like really awesome things. I would love to try it out, but that's a bit of a pain. You could always try another adapter or different drivers. So I see that Fag says otherwise. It's great. Let me see. Did I miss one of your comments here? I've been trying to. Oh, okay. This, of course. Yeah, I get you. But I'm sure it's going to be great. I heard AMD doesn't like that. I'd say it's not true, because the thing is, it depends too. Is it 240 hertz? I'm assuming with this build, you definitely got you probably got like a PG32. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you do, then I could see it. Maybe that's a possibility. But for the most part, I gotta say, I've owned the 240 hertz PG34 WCDM. It seems to be great. I haven't had any issues when it came to 34 hertz. 240 hertz for the most part. But I haven't been over 240 hertz though. It's 240 hertz is my limit. So I haven't tried 360 yet, but I'm in works on trying to get another monitor in to really test it, to see how well it does on 4K. So Dahlia Fox says, I want to get a Quest, but I'm broke after... A PC's great enough, believe me. The Quest can wait, and you know how it's going to be. They have the Quest 3 now. Next thing you know, the Quest 4 will come out, or the Quest, whatever they want to call it, will release. And by the time that does release, you'll have enough money for it. So PC build is definitely the way to go. So the G880 SD Samsung, but yes, similar. Taking a sip. Oh, feels so good. My throat was drying up there. But for the most part, so the G8, okay. So, but you shouldn't really face those type of issues when it comes to hertz. I got the 59. Don't feel too bad. A text here. There's a lot of people out there that still are on the AMD 5000 series. It's still one of the greatest series and talked about series, and we're in 2025. So that tells you something. So you do still have a great PC. So don't worry about it. Misclicked. Oh, what did you misclick? Let's see. Let me check the general side. Welcome everyone who has joined the Discord. If you want to join the free Discord, it's down in the description box down below. Thanks for Faze for reminding me that. It's down in the description box down below. Feel free to show pictures, share, whatever you need. We certainly do try to help on there. Haven't used my Quest 3 in a while. Yeah, it's funny. You know what I learned about the Quest 3 is how it's more of an independent device anyway. So you can play games even without a PC on it. And I heard it's quite amazing. But it's just that it's a shame. I feel like it's one of those things where I feel like it should have got a lot more attention, but it hasn't. It just hasn't gotten the traction. Everybody prefers it because when you really think about it, I don't know what it is, but it's specifically when it comes to optics. Because even when they came out with, like, do you remember when they came out with 3D TVs? That was a big thing. That was a big thing that they were trying to sell. Like, if you purchase this HD TV, you get free, you get these free 3D glasses. You get 4 of them for free. Some of them, the newer 3D TVs, not the newer, but the older ones, required even batteries to be able to watch your 3D TV, but you saw how quickly that kind of phased out. Even though that was supposed to be the next best thing, nobody was really interested in it. You saw how quick it died down. But that's one thing. But when it comes to things like VR, for some reason it just doesn't gain the traction. It seems like anything that has to do optically, where you have to wear something, people just don't want to do it. So, if you want to share your rigs, go to Silicon Gallery and feel free to post on battle stations. I know it's a bit crazy, like all the servers I got, but feel free to share on battle stations. That's where you can post your PC rigs. And I'll show it right here for everyone to know who is part of the Discord channel. It'll look something like this under the Silicon Gallery. And for anyone who does want to join the Discord, just add it down in the description box down below. And if you go to rules, just make sure to accept the rules and you'll be able to post those photos. And you'll see all the servers. It won't just be nothing, because that's what you'll see in the first place if you try to go in there. But I do like it a lot. I do like it. Last game I bought was the Metro game. I love Metro. Metro Exodus, I gotta say, is excellent. And apparently they are working on another game, and I would love to play it, I gotta say. It feels very refreshing once you play some other games like Metro, because it's just like the story is just so good when it comes to their games. And I was just hooked on Metro Exodus. Oh man, it feels so good. I'm glad my dog is doing well too. Man, you should have seen how worried I was. But for everyone that is joined in anyway too, I do want to let you guys know, if you're thinking about if you're on a console and you're thinking about switching over to PC, 100% worth it. In fact, you could probably ask a few guys in here. It sounds like that they switched over to PC, 100% worth it, because you get a limited gaming, really. You can play any game that you would like. You don't have to pay a monthly subscription to anything. And you get to really, you're not locked into a console to where you have to purchase items for a console. Don't get me wrong. When you do get a PC, it can be a bit expensive at first, but it is worth it because you have much more flexibility in that case. Also, another issue that I feel is a big problem too, that's currently happening with consoles, is the fact that they push the price up of PS5, which usually you don't really see console pricing go up in pricing. It's kind of sad to see that because usually after so many years, you should see console prices drop. For example, you have PS4 that came out. It was released for like 400. Then after a few years, it drops down 300. Perfectly normal. But now this time when it comes to consoles, it seems like it hasn't dropped at all. In fact, they decided to do a $50 increase on the original PS5. Now tell me how that makes sense, especially on 5-year-old hardware. So you can certainly build a PC for much cheaper with, again, if you're comparing hardware wise, you can certainly do it cheaper than a PS5 if you wanted to at this point. And then anyone who was thinking of purchasing one, more than likely you're going to, there's going to be a new PS5. Not PS5, a new PS6 when that releases. And that's going to be only like, 2 years time from now? So, and the same thing with the Xbox. It was rumored that they were going to come out with the console. But it seems that they are working on some sort of combination console, which is going to be some sort of Steam Xbox console. And if that's the case, that will certainly make things interesting. I'm just curious how it's going to work. Steam has tried to do a console before. They did try to enter the console space. It just didn't do well. But their Steam Deck did excellent. I think that speaks for itself. And I think that certainly has brought more attention to Steam. Steam was always big, but now it's even much bigger than from when they originally tried to come out with their console version of it. So there is going to be a lot of unique changes, I feel like, when it comes to the whole industry, the whole gaming industry. And pretty soon in the fall, unfortunately, we're going to all have to suffer because we're all going to have to face the pricing of gaming is also going to be brought up, especially from AAA developers. Keyword AAA developers. So you'll see a lot of games going from $70 to $80. We'll see how well that sticks. I have a good indication, and it seems like people have been pretty responsive on it for the most part, saying that they are not happy with it. Who would be? Why pay an extra $10 for a game that is underdeveloped versus a developer you can purchase, where you can purchase the game for much cheaper than even $70. You can purchase it for $40, and you get a much better experience. Oh man, but I gotta say, for the most part, when it comes to the PC hardware space, there is going to be things coming out. I'm really curious if this whole RX 9090 would come out. That would be dope if they did. I hope that they are seriously at least considering it, which is when I speak to RX 9090 or RX 9080, yes, I'm thinking of AMD. If they did, they could become a lot more competitive. It seems like a lot more people are more interested in AMD's GPUs, but time is of the essence. If they do it too slow, it's not going to be good on their part because, as you know, and especially us gamers, we could get a bit impatient because we want to be able to play the game immediately. And if we don't do that, if we're unable to, we're going to purchase the next best thing. And that's just what we do. It's in our nature. We just want to be able to play, right? So you're going to have people that just says, you know what? I'm not going to wait for the 9080 XT. I'm not going to wait for the 9090. Instead, I'm just going to go with the RTX 5070, RTX 5080, or whichever type of GPU that they can go after. Because, again, they are coming out with reiterations of it. They do have, I got to say, what is that they're starting to push now is the whole BTF connections, which is pretty dope as well when it comes to PC building. It makes it a whole lot easier. And what are BTF connections? They're practically connections like for your ATX or for your typical, say, your CPU fans. They're all going to be towards like the back of the motherboard instead of the front, so it looks more aesthetically pleasing. And it should be a bit more easier to build. It's just going to take a little bit more time for the compatibility side to be up to par when it comes to BTF. Now, ASUS calls it BTF. Other manufacturers will also call it something different. Gigabyte has their own version. MSI has their own version. I know MSI calls it MSI 0 and Project 0. And Gigabyte, what is Gigabyte? Gigabyte also has a name for theirs as well. But they are starting to push that out more often. And it's certainly going to make building a bit easier because now you don't have to route your power supply cables to the side of your PC. Instead, you can just do it directly in the back, but just don't make it look like a spider web because airflow still matters even then. And I'm sure that there's going to be a bit more space on that side of it for the most part. So there is going to be that factor of it, which is going to be exciting. I think we'll see a lot more BTF type of builds personally on this channel. And I know everyone wants to see it, and I've been wanting to do it for the longest. I do have some components coming in. I'm still waiting on contacts for them as well. There will be a full blackout PC build. I want to do this. I'm really excited for it. No RGBs at all. It's just gonna be all black. It's gonna be Project Ninja. That's what we're gonna call it. If you like the name, let me know. I hope you do. So text here says, am I weird? We're still had high temps undervolting at 5950X where I gave up and just turned off the CPB core perform overdrive to lock the 5090-50X to 3400 Hz and set the PBO advanced motherboard. No, I get it. It's funny. The funny thing is about PC gamers, we like to be able to modify everything that we do. And I think it's in our nature. And no, it's not weird at all. I don't think so. Because it's like sometimes we like to do things until we break things. But you don't want to break it, obviously. That's the last thing you want to do. But yeah, that's just what we do. We do everything but actually game on our devices at times. If you notice, you'll do everything. You'll look up even PC hardware, but you're not focused on the games itself because you're so excited about your PC. And that's how it is at times. You just want to be able to modify it to your liking. That's the best part about PCs. That's what I love about PCs and the PC community, is the fact that your PC says a lot about you and it says a lot about everyone else. So when you modify your PC, whether you like RGBs, you don't like RGBs, you like to overvolt, you like to do underclocking, overclocking, or whichever, this is your PC. It's your custom PC. You do whatever you like with it. That's the best part about PC. When you do a PC build or you have a PC build, it's just you have these flexibilities, you have these options, but not at all. So, bam, guys, I thank you guys so much for the stream. I apologize for the late stream. Of course, Jonah had to take care of this little guy first, make sure that he was okay, and so far he's okay. He seems that he is doing well. He just got up out of the blue, but thanks everybody for joining. Make sure to tune back in. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. And also make sure to join our Discord. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to post pictures. And feel free to talk with the fan bam. I sincerely hope to see you guys over there. And on Saturdays, I don't usually stream around this time. I usually stream usually around 8 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure to tune in then, and hopefully I see you guys then. Also, I do want to mention to everybody out there too, I've been experimenting shipping out PCs so far. I think it's been going well, and I will definitely keep you up to date. I'll keep you guys up to date on Saturday about that. And if you have more questions, you have more issues, or feel free again to come into the live and ask them, or even ask on Discord if I'm not live. And thank you guys again so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you and every one of you. Thanks so much, fam. And have a great night, especially for those in Europe. I apologize for doing this stream so late for you guys. But hopefully I see you guys soon.